Hi, Diversity Talks is a program supporting the professional community. Now come on in. Are you ready? Relax, come on in, have a few laughs, and enjoy today's program. I am your host, Joyce Saint-Cyr, your business strategist. Hi, thank you for tuning in to Diversity Talks, and I am your host, Joyce Saint-Cyr. Diversity Talks is a program that was developed to help professionals build upon their skill set. Tonight, we're going to talk about the plan. Exactly. Everyone should have a plan. Today, we're going to talk about why a plan is important, the challenges not having a plan, what's a plan, and how do you invest into yourself having a plan, and some options that are available for you. So let's get right into it. A plan. A plan is typically a diagram, some type of direction for you to identify a goal that you would like to achieve within a particular time and the resources that are needed to accomplish the plan. So therefore, a plan is basically detailed of what you need to do and how you're going to get it done. So we talked about why is a plan important. To be successful, you have to have a plan. There's nothing that we do in life that we should do without a plan. You should have a plan for growth, a plan to start, and even a plan to end. There should be specific points in the plan to know what's the new direction, what needs to be added to the plan, and what needs to be removed from the plan. So you might be asking, is she talking about a business plan, a formal business plan? And do I need a formal business plan? There's definitely advantages to having a formal business plan. It provides you a detailed analysis of your strengths, your weakness, your threats, and your opportunities. But I'm not necessarily saying a formal business plan, which that is good. I'm just saying just a basic plan. So even if you have a business plan, you should have a mini plan of how you're going to execute each stage of your business plan. So today we're basically going to just talk about just having mini plans, okay? What are the challenges of not having a plan? You ever heard that term, plan to fail, fail to plan? Those are words that we should live by. Many times small business owners and professionals struggle because they don't have a plan. I could hear someone saying right now, I'm very successful and I didn't have a plan. You did have a plan. However, you must have gone through some hoops, or you might have had some opportunities or some challenges of not having a plan. The plan gives you a direction to understand, identify what could go wrong and what needs to be in place to avoid these risks from occurring. And then to think about what are the opportunities that I need. So let's think about this. Let's go simple into saying, I want to get married. When you're planning on getting married, you need to think about where you're getting married, who's going to be part of the wedding plan, the party, how much money you need for the wedding. Same thing in the concept for a business. You want to start a business. How much money do you need? Some people say you don't need a lot of money. Trust me, I can agree to that. I coach a lot of small business owners. Depending on where you are in the stage of your business can determine how much money that you need initially. You need some money. There's certain things that you need for building your brand, building your platform, but that's part of the plan. The plan says, what do I need at the initial stage? How much money do I need to generate to help me go to the next stage? So this is the importance of the plan. So let's think about the concept of planning. You need to think about your strengths, your weakness, your threats, and your opportunities. So we're going to break them down. Your strengths is, what am I good in? Your threats, what could happen? What are the opportunities? Who's in my network? What are some advantages that I have? and so forth. You also need to think about the 4 P's of marketing: your product, your price, promotion, and place. Let's pause for a minute. Your product. It could be a widget, it could be a service. And sometimes I hear people come out and say, I have 10 widgets. If you're just starting your business, you're confusing your consumer with these 10 different widgets. So I always tell my clients, come up with 3. Start with 3 and build upon that. Your price point. Your price point is going to understand, what is the price that I want to sell my widget? You need to plan. What is the going rate for this product or service? What are people willing to pay me for my expertise for this product or service? What type of promotion am I going to have to put in place for people to get to know me, to know how to build my business? And where am I going to provide this product or services? This is all part of the plan. So when you're thinking about your strengths and your 4 P's of marketing, this is the foundation and the core of developing a plan. So I mentioned strengths. So when you're starting a plan, let's walk it through. What are you good at? I'm very analytical. I've been in accounting for 25 years, great with numbers, great with budgets. I could do a gross profit analysis easily. So those are my strengths. That's what I put into place into what I'm going to provide my clients, knowing these are the strengths. This is what I could do well. Think about your skill set. Think about what you do well. I'm not talking about a hobby now. And some things of a hobby could come into a business, but really think, can I plan events? Am I a great facilitator? Can I make people laugh? Everyone is good at something. Now, when you think about what is it that you're good at, can you teach someone else the same skill set? I can teach anyone to do a gross profit analysis. If you say this is something that you're good at doing, then you should be able to teach someone else. If you say to me that it's complicated, that you're not able to teach someone, then we need to revisit how proficient you feel in your skills to be able, not to be able to teach someone else. So you need to think about, can you teach someone this well? Then you need to think about the next thing that none of us want to think about. What is it that you're not good at? No one wants to admit that, but we're not perfect in everything. Okay, I am. No, I'm joking. But we need to think about, what is it that we're not good at? So I could tell you what I'm not good at. I can make banners, but I'm not a graphic designer. So I have someone on the team that can actually help people with graphic designs. That's not my strength. Sometimes I'm not the best political person. That's not the strongest strength, but it's also a strength and it's not a strength. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're not good at? And when you're developing the plan and you're saying, I'm great, I'm a great teacher, can you see yourself doing this in the next 5 to 10 years? How often I hear people say, I hate what I'm doing. Ugh, I can't stand my clients. I have to get up and go and do hair. I have to go cleaning, whatever your business is. So when you're developing your plan, say, can I see myself doing this in another 5 to 10 years? If not, we need to address the plan and see if it's really something that really to invest your time and your resources. So when you've identified your strength and said, this is what I want to offer, think about, is anyone willing to pay me? At the end of the day, it's about being able to generate an income. If you cannot get paid for what it is that you would like to share, is it really a business? So let's think about this. Let's say you're a photographer and you believe you're a photographer and you like to go and take photos and you take a whole bunch of pictures and you go to the event with your phone camera. Really? Okay, mistake number 1. Then you go to the event and you're taking pictures and then you upload them on your computer. You don't have a program to edit these photos and there's blotches, the light is bad. So then you go to the people there and you say, I would like you to pay me for these photos. They're not going to pay you. So this is something as simple, because I'm not saying that you're selling a widget that someone may not be interested in, which could be the case. But I want you to think as simple as something that you believe that something that you're good at. And not to say that you cannot be, but maybe you need help to perfecting your skill set of maybe understanding to invest into getting a camera, a better quality camera, understanding what are the tools necessary to develop your photo. Same concept, no matter what business that you have. I want you to think about, is someone willing to pay me? How do most of us start a business? We're doing something, very often bakers. They're baking this wonderful cake and people are ordering the cake and they're seeing people say, I'm willing to pay you to bake me a cake. People are willing to pay you. This is how you identify if you're really providing something that other people are willing to pay for. So now you've identified that people are willing to pay you. So when you're developing the plan is to say, where will I find these individuals that are willing to purchase my products or services? And this is essential when you're doing your planning. So think about it, everyone. I'm really breaking down your plan, but in simple terms. So when you're thinking about that you would like to bake wedding cakes, well, what type of brides? Where do you want to find these brides? Are you located in one state and you're looking to sell cakes to individuals in another state? That means you need to think about, can you actually transport your product? Is it good when they're going to receive it? All of these things that you have to think about in the planning stage. So when you're thinking about building your business or whatever plan it is where are your consumers and are they willing to actually purchase the price? Now, this is the next thing that you have to think about your planning. This goes into risks or threats is, why you? Who else is offering this product or services? When you go out to networking events, and let's say, let me use me for an example. You say there's a business coach. Why would someone select me as a business coach compared to another qualified coach? So there definitely has to be chemistry, correct? So there has to be a connection. But also, I like to tell people that I have the skill set, the educational and the formal experience to help you with your business. That's what you have to think about when you're introducing yourself to someone or you're trying to build your customer base. Why you? And who else is offering this product or services? So that means you have to build upon your skill set. And every day you have to understand what's the changes that's going on in your industry. Now here's another one that's kind of a little tricky that I bet you haven't heard before. It doesn't matter what business that you have, whatever type of product or services you're offering, I like to tell my clients, can you offer or have this service provided to your consumer within 40 hours? So think about it. Very often, I think I could use graphic artists and even photographers as an example. They take pictures and they tell you you have to wait a month for your photos. Really? I have to wait a month? Now, depending on the number of customers they have. But does it really take a month to develop these photographs? It shouldn't. I always say that you should be able to provide that product or services within 40 hours. Now, you do give yourself some time, a time frame that you will tell your consumers, I can provide this to you in 2 weeks. But it's for you to think in the planning stage, as you're building your business, that you're able to provide and complete this product or services within a short period of time, that you have time to review it and to make sure when you deliver it to your consumer, you're providing a quality product. So think about that. No matter what you're doing, think about that you can complete your product or services and have it provided in 40 hours. So let's summarize what we've discussed today. What should your plan contain? What you're good at, what you're not good at, and all the things that you've listed and what you're good at, can you teach it to someone else? And then to think about, do you see yourself doing this in 5 to 10 years? Will people pay for your skill set? Where are your consumers? And is this something that's missing in the market? Or are you missing something that could connect in the market? And can you complete this in 40 hours? So when you're building your plan and you're saying, I'm going to provide this widget, I'm good at this, I know people are willing to pay, then you have to think about, how am I going to deliver it? Do I need to have a contract? How am I going to package it? So everything, even though I've just given you the framework, you have to develop on the framework to say, this is how I'm going to provide it. This is how I'm going to keep track of it. This is how I'm going to get paid. Then you have to think about what are the forms of payment that you're going to be able to receive payment from your consumer. Now, everyone is looking at paying with a debit or a credit card. Can you accept debit or credit card? And there's a lot of free tools that are out there that could provide you that option to give to your consumer, because the average person doesn't walk with cash. Things to think about in your plan. At the end of the day, a plan means that you're willing to show up. You're willing to be available to help not only yourself, but your consumer. When you take the time to invest and develop a plan, the quality of your product and services is well represented. Your consumer can see someone who's not totally planned correctly, to plan for the future. So I want you to think about, how do you invest into yourself into the planning stage? When you're developing your business and you're building, it is essential that you invest into you and your business. So when you're developing your plan and you say, this is what I'm good at, how are you investing into you to develop and build upon your skill set? I use an example as a photographer. You know you're good at it. You went to school. You have whatever credentials that's necessary. Technology is always changing. That means you have to develop in your plan to say in a year or 2 years that you're going to go and enroll into some program to find out what are the new technology available to you. So then that's going to set you apart from your competitor, instead of someone who's carrying the same type of camera and they're not looking to build upon their business. The same way if you're providing a service as a coach. What type of workshops, what are you doing to pursue to increase your skill set to help your clients? This is something that you have to think about investing into yourself. Even in my book called Starting a Small Business, The Real Deal, it's a step-by-step guide of what you need to do to invest into you in your business, and something for you to think about. So overall, what I want you to take away is to understand there's a power and there's necessity into planning. Planning means that you understand where you see yourself in the future. And when you're developing the plan, think of the future, where you want to be, what you want to offer, how you see yourself. Visualize yourself. Then the plan is to bring it back into the present and say, these are all the steps to take me to where I need to be in the future. Well, there's a lot of information that we've talked about today. And if you have any questions, I encourage you to connect with me to talk about what are some essentials that you need to add to the plan. And now I would like to introduce my guests so we can get their opinion about the importance of having a plan. Well, I would